We are in the Garden of Eden here in Eden, Texas.
Like, you're driving through absolutely nothing.
Well, it's a Saturday, so maybe they're just closed. I don't know.
Like, get gas. Every step you see gas.
I've already made a wrong turn. Took about a 30-minute detour.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's
go.
We are in the Garden of Eden here in Eden, Texas. Having a great time playing with Daddy and Emma Grace, and Riley is here too. We've been driving for about 2 hours, 20 minutes. There's very poor service here, so we're kind of just sticking to the main highway. It's been mostly an overcast kind of day, but it's the sun's peeking out. We were gonna stop and eat at the Burrito Lady, but I think they might only be open on weekends. And it's now it's a Saturday, so maybe they're just closed. I don't know, but we're having a good time. Emma Grace fell asleep in the car in the last hour or so. I've already made a wrong turn. Took about a 30-minute detour, but it's going well. And hopefully we will spend the rest of the day on the road and arrive at Palo Duro Canyon State Park this evening, hopefully in time to make a little dinner and hang out around camp, maybe explore some trails before we hit the hay and start again tomorrow. So come on with me as we finish our drive.
About to leave, already packing, come with me, I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions, we'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow, we can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts. Be free with me.
You want to drink some?
Be free with me. Be free. Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche, we're on the run, this is what we waited for. Oh, yeah. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow, we can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Be free with me.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's
go.
All right, so we drove about 7 hours today from Killeen, Texas. No, not Killeen.
San Antonio.
San Antonio. We were visiting Mike's family as like one last hurrah before the big move. So we drove about 7 hours, maybe 8, all said and done, down here to Palo Duro Canyon State Park, which is fantastic. Like, you're driving through absolutely nothing. Like, get gas. Every step you see gas, because it's just a lot of nothing land. The second half of the drive just smelled like straight cattle. And but like when you pull around a corner, all of a sudden there's like this massive canyon. It's really interesting. Yeah, we're here. We are at a full hookup site tonight. There weren't any other sites available. This will basically have electricity and water for the first night, and we'll also have some options that the next place we're staying at is also going to be a full campground to kind of just get our feet wet and get the whole thing started. But
We also chose to only do a partial setup on the tent versus setting up the annex and setting up the the awning like we normally do. The spot we have has a covered picnic table, so we don't have to pull half of our gear out to set up our food. We just need to get the actual kitchen gear out to make the food. And then we set up the tent for normal and then just did ratchet straps to hold it down. And speaking of holding it down,
we're going to go for a walk. We'll catch you later.
Yes, go, big truck.
You want to go look at big trucks? Okay.
Yeah.
Be free with me. Yeah.
One of our favorite things to do at a campsite is to walk around and look at everybody's rig. It was something we used to do when we had a 31-foot travel trailer, and it's something we still enjoy doing. It's always fun to kind of daydream about the kinds of rigs you could have in the future and what you like, what you don't like. This particular model was really interesting. I think we're both intrigued by the idea of a pop-up camper as our next rig. Until then, there's this beautiful, comfortable tent. It is a rainy day here at Palo Duro. We just broke down in the rain. It's been kind of a running joke that like we only camp in the rain because so far that's kind of how it's been. We were really excited yesterday when we pulled in and everything was dry, and then of course in the middle of the night the rain started. But apparently this area is really dry, and so it's been really good for them to have this kind of rain. A lot of the trails were shut down because bridges had washed away. Where'd Daddy go? He's in his truck. So anyway, so today we're going to be driving from Amarillo, Texas, which is like 20 miles away, up to Colorado Springs, Colorado, where we will be spending the night at the Air Force Academy, the U.S. Air Force Academy. They have a campsite for military. So we're going to be staying there for 5 nights and seeing some friends who are stationed at Fort Carson, which is also in Colorado Springs. So we've got a long drive day ahead of us. I think it's going to be 6 or 7 hours, something like that, same as yesterday. But hopefully today's views will be a little bit more interesting. This past day was a lot of flat ground with like no cities to break things up. It was beautiful, very remote. Half the drive smelled like cattle, and then the other half of the drive was just wind farms. So it was very interesting driving through the Great Plains. We saw a lot of warehouses like Maseca, and Coors had a warehouse distribution center. Daddy's over there. But anyways, Mike started the truck, so it's time to get going. But in the meantime, here is Palo Duro Canyon. I forgot to mention that Palo Duro Canyon has an outdoor play that they do every year. I believe it's about the history of Texas, but they were rehearsing it the night we arrived, and it was really cool. They do it outside, and the entire canyon is lit up with like colored lights, and you can hear music. So it's really fun if you visit during the summer. The play unfortunately wasn't open when we were there, but they were rehearsing for it, so I think it was going to open, I'm assuming sometime in June. So check it out if you get the chance.